everyone, if you're new here, my name is Hannah and welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe down below to be a part of the family. And let's jump into the video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing another segment in my series of top 5s. So we're going to be talking about my top 5 bronzers today. So if you haven't seen any of my top 5 so far, I will link them down below, or link the playlist down below I should say. And I'll link the playlist up here somewhere for you as well, so you can go check those out if you're interested. Today we're going to be talking all about bronzers. So let's jump in. So these aren't in any particular order. They're not from like favorites to like absolute favorite to least favorite. They're just top favorite. These are what I go to the most out of anything. So let's jump in. So I'm going to start off with the Marc Jacobs bronzer. So this is the Tantastic 104. This was in their coconut collection, which I think is now coming back out, so you're going to be able to pick this one up again. This is such a large bronzer. You can see that that's like half the size of my face, like it's literally the size of my palm. It's quite a large bronzer. Has a really good coconut scent, but that's obviously not the reason we're talking about it, is that it's scented and that it's large. This is a very expensive bronzer. This is $72 and has 25 grams in it. So it's very expensive for the amount that's in here. But this does last quite a long time because you don't need a lot of it. It's very pigmented and very beautiful, and it blends out so nicely on the skin. This is probably, no, it's really hard to say if this is my favorite or not. Really hard to say. But this one is just the perfect color for if you're fair. You can build it up if you're a bit tanner, and it just looks really, really beautiful. It blends out so nicely, and I really love this. Like I can't say anything bad about this. I've never had a bad makeup day when wearing this. Next up we have the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. So this is more of the affordable drugstore kind, except this is more of like a $29.95 bronzer from the drugstore, so about half, a little bit more than half the price, a little bit less than half the price I should say, of the Marc Jacobs. Now this one, I think in Australia we can only get the light bronzer, and I think there's like a few other colours, but in Australia we can only get the light ones. This is more suitable for my fair days, or if you're more on the fair side, this is going to be more suitable for you, unfortunately. If you can find the more darker ones, then I mean, yay! I wish I could. Whenever I am able to find them, I will let you guys know where I found them. But at the moment, this is all I can find. So obviously this is the light bronzer, this is the butter bronzer. There is 11 grams of product in here, so less than half of the Marc Jacobs, which means that this price is probably pretty close to being a Marc Jacobs price, if that makes sense. So Marc Jacobs double the amount of product, a bit over 3 times the price. They're very similar in price if you work it out like that. So getting something like this might be cheap in the start, but in the long run, getting the Marc Jacobs one is probably going to be actually more affordable if you think about it. But anyway, so this has a really nice scent to it as well. This is more of like the coconut-y vibe as well. I think most of them have a coconut vibe these days, to be honest. But yeah, so this is more of the subtle bronzer. I pretty much only ever use this if I'm more on the fair side, because it just doesn't have a lot of colour, but it does blend out really, really nicely. And I really do like it. Next up we have the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. You would have seen this in every YouTuber's videos before. Everybody has used this. Everybody knows about it. It is like the holy grail OG highlighter bronzer. So this one has 8 grams of product. That is a very, very small amount of product. 8 grams is a very little amount of product, but at the same time you don't need a lot of this. So this one is 51 Australian dollars, so it's about $20 cheaper than Marc Jacobs, $20 dearer than the Physicians Formula one. This one is a really good colour. It works for light skin tones, tan skin tones. You can build it up and it will work for darker skin tones. I mean, obviously it's not going to work for like the really dark skin tones, which is sad as well. Maybe they'll come out with a darker one. But they do have a light one as well for any of you who are more fair. But this blends out really beautifully. This was the first bronzer that I have ever tried. Yeah, the first bronzer that I've actually really tried, and it has been one of my favorites ever since. It blends out so beautifully. It's really good for beginners as well, because you can't really make a mistake with this one. It's really beautiful. I love this one. If I could recommend just one of these to all of you guys, it would probably be this one. Yeah, I think it would be. Next up, more on the higher side again. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. Yeah. So this is in Luminous Bronze Light. So this one looks like this. And this one just has more of like a subtle glow through it. This one isn't really like on the pigmented side. It does have a colour, like it is a bronzer, but it's not highly pigmented. So this is more of like a bronzer topper, or if you are more on the fair side, you could use it just as your bronzer. But this does have a little bit of like a fine shimmer through it, which is just really luminous and radiant, especially if you want one of those looks where you look really bronzed and glowy, and it's summer and you just want to like have bronzy glowy skin. This is perfect for that. This will literally give you that beautiful healthy glow, and it will just look like you were born that way. Like, come on, who doesn't want to look like they were born that way? But yeah, this basically does that. This is another expensive bronzer. This is also $72 and has 11 grams. So it's a very small amount, but like I said before, this is mostly a topper. It does have that bit of shimmer through it, which you wouldn't really want to put like a ton of that all over your face, otherwise you might look a little bit shiny everywhere. But it does have that little bit of shimmer in there, which will give you a beautiful luminous glow if you just swipe it over your cheekbones. It looks amazing, trust me. This is one of my absolute favorite products, especially if I'm going out, if I'm going anywhere like where I put my tan on and I'm nice and glowy and I want to look really nice and really glowing from within. This is definitely something that I'll just throw over the top of my bronzer to just give me that nice shimmering, radiant, glowing from within look, which we're all after. We are. You know it. Don't lie. I know you're after it too. And finally, back to something that's more affordable. This is the Bahama Mama Bronzer by The Balm. Now this is more on the affordable drugstore side. You can buy this at Target in Australia, and I think it's $27.95. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's $27.95. It is on the smaller side, so it does have... Are you going to tell me how much it's in you? Okay, so this has 7 grams, so it has less than the Hoola bronzer, but this obviously is $20 cheaper. And this one, trust me, this is a really good colour. So it just looks like this on the inside. It's got obviously a small pan, but this is the best affordable highlighter. Why do I keep saying highlighter? This is the best affordable bronzer that I've tried, mostly because it is, like, look at the size of this compared to this. Like, if you're going to be traveling, then this one is definitely something that you want to be taking with you rather than the Physicians Formula butter bronzer, because that's quite large packaging for the small amount of product that's in it, whereas this is a nice small compact, has the little mirror on it, it's that cardboard material or packaging, and it's very compact. You can put this in your handbag, you can put this in your luggage. It's very versatile for that as well. Once again, it has such a really nice colour. I really enjoy the colour of this one. It blends out really well. I don't think you can really make a mistake with this one either, as long as you use a light hand and you build it up nicely. This one, it's another one of my favourites. Doesn't have a smell, it's more of that like, it's more of that chemically, that more like chemical smell, but it's not really anything that you can actually smell when it's on your face or when you know, anything like that. But yeah, another one of my absolute favourites, and it is not really that expensive either, and I think like this will last you quite a long time. I don't know if you can see that, but I haven't really taken much of a dent out of it, and I've been using this like non-stop for months, so it'll probably last you quite a bit. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful to you in some way and helped you decide whether any of these products would be good for you. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe down below. You know the button, the red one down below. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.